Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole. I'm your relationship coach and your motivational speaker. So I'm back with my stress baby, and I just wanted to make this video. Oftentimes, people are sensitive and get offended when people talk about preferences, what they like and what they don't like, right? And I know common sense isn't common, so I want to volunteer some information. It's important to become the person that you want to attract, because there's always an exception to the rule. And what God has for you is for you. Everybody, is entitled to have a preference or feel how they feel. And it's not for you to get offended by it, right? Because you can't date everyone. You can't marry everyone. You're not going to meet everyone, right? The importance of reading the Bible is because the serenity prayer is so powerful. Change the things that you can change. A lot of people focus on the outside, right? But focus on the inside, because people who really like you, right? A person who loves you, depending on your relationship with them, like if you're parents or child or spouse or baby mama or whatever that situation looks like for you, they might be a responsible person and they might pay bills, right? And on holidays or your birthday, they might take you someplace nice. But a person who likes you, really likes you, a person who likes you, you don't have to beg them for time. And I know people say people make time for things they want, but depending on the person and their availability, like I know my 30 minutes is equal to somebody's 4 hours, right? A person who works a lot is not going to have the same time that somebody who doesn't work at all or somebody works part-time, right? So the person who doesn't work at all or only works part-time can't understand why the person who works a lot doesn't have time for them. That's why it's so important to be equally yoked. And a lot of times people put a lot of emphasis on dating equally yoked, right? But equally yoked, you should apply that across the board, whether it's co-workers, friends, relatives, dating, marriage, co-parenting, whatever that looks like for you, right? Because peace is so valuable. Happiness is internal. I don't let anyone disrupt my peace. If you're familiar with my channel, it's not who and what you attract, it's who and what you entertain. Because even bad people want to be around good people. Light can exist without dark, and dark cannot exist without light. So sometimes a person might not like you, but they want to drain your energy. Energy can never be destroyed. It's just transferred from one person to another. So some people will charge you and some people will drain you. A person who's toxic, who might be jealous of you or miserable or insecure, that person might like to start fights with you or interact with you because they're trying to transfer some of their negative energy to you and receive some of your positive energy. The way you protect yourself is it takes two people to argue. I just walk away. If you're familiar with any of my videos or my channel, you know that I've made videos about a toxic coworker. You know that I've made videos about my toxic mother. And you also might be familiar that I've recently started talking about my son's dad, being in prison majority of his life and co-parenting from him being in prison and things of that nature. And even me being an empty nester and, being my children's service case and my custody battle case and all of that being finalized July of 2025 next month, if you're familiar with my channel. So, I am real big on protecting my energy, because protecting my energy is protecting my peace. When I see a negative person or a toxic person trying to come towards me, I just go the opposite direction, because I want them to look like the aggressor they are. Because anybody with common sense is going to be like, hey, If it's HR, hey, why you keep on trying to talk to this person and this person not trying to talk to you? If I have to call the police, hey, the police gonna be like, hey, why are you trying to talk to this person and this person ain't trying to talk to you, right? So America's never based on right or wrong. It's what you can prove. So don't give people your energy, right? It's not for me to say, why is my mom toxic? Why is my coworker toxic? Why this? Why that? Why am I accepting it, right? It's my life. Only I can live it. So I'm not even going to interact with the toxic coworker. I'm not even going to interact with my mom. I'm never afraid to cut my losses. That's the blueprint. I just wanted to volunteer some information. Like, how does she go through, 12 years of unnecessary stress and work in corporate America and be a single mom and co-parent, while the son's dad is in prison, and, raise him in the suburbs and pay all these overpriced bills, right? Because I protect my peace. I protect my energy. I'm never afraid to cut my losses. I have mourned so many people who have not physically passed away. The list just keeps on getting higher and higher, right? Because once somebody shows me who they are, I believe them, and what's understood doesn't need to be explained. A person who really values you and appreciates you will take off your plate. They're not going to add to it, right? A person who values you and appreciates you is not going to test you to your limits and try to see what they can get away with. So the moment I see somebody trying to test me or provoke me in a negative way to get a negative reaction out of me, I just go the opposite direction, because it always takes two to tango. And I don't play chess and I don't play spades. Which means I don't play games, right? No. People always say, oh, you playing chess and checkers. I take lemons and I make lemonade. It doesn't matter what you throw at me or what hand I'm dealt. My mom's twin brother was a Marine. I was raised by a Marine. It's not on me, it's in me. So my name is Nicole. I'm your relationship coach and your motivational speaker. I hope and pray that this message has been a blessing to you. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.